Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making a cute dinosaur rattle with a fun jingly surprise inside. It's super cute, baby friendly, and makes the perfect gift for the little dinosaur fans in your life. This tutorial is divided into 5 fun chapters. We'll start with the base wrap, move on to the head and neck, then the tail, followed by the spikes, and finally I'll show you how to put all the pieces together to bring your dino to life. You can adjust the video speed to match your pace, slow it down or speed it up, totally up to you. And don't forget to stick around till the end because I'll be sharing lots of tips and tricks to make the process even. Here's what you'll need to get started. Light green yarn for the body, dark green yarn for the spikes, black yarn for the eyes, a 3.25 mm crochet hook, 5 cm macrame ring, a small jingle bell for that rattle, some soft stuffing like polyfill fiber, a pair of scissors and a needle. Alright, grab your yarn and hook and let's bring this little dino to life. Let's kick off with the base that will wrap around your macrame ring. To crochet the base wrap and the dino's body, I'm going to double my yarn and use a 3.25 mm crochet hook. This just keeps the stitches tight so none of the stuffing pops out. Begin by making a foundation chain of 12. And then add 2 extra chains for turning. For row 1, skip the first 2 turning chains and double crochet into the third chain from the hook. Then make a double crochet in the next chain. And make a double crochet in each of the remaining 10 chains. At the end of row 1, you should have 12 stitches, 1 from each double crochet. To begin row 2, chain 2, turn your work and double crochet across all 12 stitches again, starting from the third chain from the hook since we are not counting the turning chain 2 as a double crochet. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This completes my row 2. Now let's check if the base wraps nicely around the macrame ring. It's looking a bit short, so adding another row might give us a better fit. Row 3 is worked just like row 2. Begin with the chain 2. Turn your work and make 1 double crochet in each of the 12 stitches across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's it for row 3. Time to check the fit. And yes, the base now wraps around the ring just right. Now for the fun part, wrap the strip around your macrame ring, aligning the top row with your starting chain and slip stitching the top and the bottom rows together, matching each stitch as you go. So for the first stitch, insert your hook into the first stitch of the foundation chain, yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. Then for the next one, insert your hook into the second stitch of row 3 and second stitch of the foundation chain, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Following the same method, join every stitch from row 3 to its respective in the foundation chain with a slip stitch. Here's a pro tip. If you turn your work slightly towards you as you go, it can help you see clearly both the stitches of row 3 and the foundation chain, making it easier to line things up. Once you're done joining the 2 rows, snip the yarn and fasten off. This completes our base. Let's dive into the next chapter, Dino's Head. Start with a magic ring in chain 1. Next, make 6 single crochets into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once done, pull the ring tight to close it up. For round 2, we'll do 6 increases. That means 2 single crochets in each stitch from round 1. We'll be working in continuous rounds, so instead of slip stitching into the first single crochet, go straight ahead and make 2 single crochets into it. Proceed to making 2 single crochets for each of the remaining 5 stitches. At the end of this round, you should have 12 stitches in total. That's my round 2. Before I move on to round 3, I'm going to secure my magic ring with a knot to keep it tightly closed. I'm also going to add a stitch marker to my last stitch. It's great for keeping track of your stitch count and marking the start of each round. For round 3, we're adding another 6 stitches. So make 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the next. 1, 2. Then make 1 single crochet in the third stitch and 2 single crochets in the fourth. 1 and 2. Keep alternating like this all the way around, and by the end you'll have 18 stitches. One, two in the next, one, two in the next, one, and last 2. Round 4 and 5 are just single crochets in each stitch around, maintaining the stitch count to 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Moving on to round 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Moving on to round 6, this is where we start shaping the head. We're going to gradually reduce the width at the front to start forming the dino's facial shape, while keeping the bag straight to form the neck. Start by crocheting single crochets into the first 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5 single crochets, work 4 invisible decreases. To work an invisible decrease, insert your hook under the front loop of the first stitch and the front loop of the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through both front loops. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this 3 more times for a total of 4 decreases. Notice how the front is starting to come in. Once you've completed the decreases, work 5 single crochets to finish off the round. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're going to continue to taper the head in our next round, round 7. Start by crocheting 5 single crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then work 2 invisible decreases. First decrease, second decrease, then complete the round by 5 single crochets in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll now be left with 12 stitches. That's our dino's head. Let's move on to making the neck. I'm thinking an inch and a half long, so that's like 4 to 5 rows for the neck. Rounds 8 through 12 will form the neck, and for these rounds make 1 single crochet in each stitch, maintaining a total of 12 stitches per round. Keep going around and don't worry about any increases or decreases. And I'll see you when you're done crocheting the 12th round. I've just finished crocheting all 5 rounds. And I think it looks just right. It should sit really nicely once it's sewn onto the base. So now let's stuff the dino's head and neck. Start by adding a small amount of stuffing along with the jingle bell into the head. Then gradually add more stuffing until the head and the neck are nice and full. After you've added the stuffing and shaped it to your liking, go ahead and close the head. So for round 13, work 6 invisible decreases to reduce the stitch count to 6. First decrease, second decrease, third decrease, fourth decrease, fifth decrease, and sixth decrease. Then pull up yarn and snip it off. If you feel like it needs a little bit more stuffing, now's the perfect time to add it before sewing the opening closed. Sew the opening closed. You can use a needle or your crochet hook for this. Now that it's all stitched up, let's add some personality with the eyes. Pass approximately 30 centimeters of black yarn through a needle. To place the eyes evenly, count 4 rows down from the top of the head. Then find the 4th stitch from the center on each side. These 2 points will be about 6 stitches apart. Once you've marked the spots, use black yarn to make a small vertical stitch on each side. I'm working the stitch 2 to 3 times in the same spot to form a slightly oval shape. Bring both yarn ends to the same point. Knot the two together and tuck them neatly inside. Set the head aside and let's work on the tail next. We'll begin by creating a magic ring and chaining 1 and working 4 single crochets into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once done, pull the ring tight. We'll be working in continuous rounds for the tail just as we did for the head. For the next round, single crochet in every stitch around. The tail has more of a triangular shape. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now's the perfect time to turn your work inside out so that the right side is facing you. But first, let's secure the magic ring by tying a knot. Flipping your work can be tricky. You can use a crochet hook and gently pull the edges of the ring. In round 3, work 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. This brings the stitch count to 8. 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 2 in the second stitch, 2 into the third, and last 2 into the fourth stitch. For the next round, single crochet in every stitch around. In round 5, add 4 more stitches by working a single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the next one. Repeat this 4 times to bring the stitch count to a total of 12. For rounds 5 to 8, single crochet in every stitch around, making sure to maintain the stitch count as you go. Keep working on these 3 rows. I'll meet you at the end of the 8th round. After completing 8 rounds, you can stuff the tail using polyfill fiber. Keep in mind not to overstuff. Use just enough filling to help it hold its shape nicely. When you're done stuffing, you can move on to the next round. In this round, you will make 6 invisible decreases like we did for the head. Then sew the opening closed and set the piece aside. In the next chapter, we will learn how to make spikes. Take your dark green yarn and make a magic ring. Chain 2. Then make 8 double crochets into the ring. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After making 8 double crochets, slip stitch into the first stitch. Pull the magic ring tight. Tie a knot to secure the magic ring. And snip off excess. Pull the other end and cut it as well. Fold the piece in half to form a semicircle. You'll need 4 of these, so go ahead and repeat the steps. I'll meet you once all 4 spikes are ready. In the final chapter, we will learn the best way to sew all pieces together. I started by sewing the bottom of the head and neck piece to the top of the base wrap, right around the middle of row 2. And as you can see, the result wasn't great. The head looked floppy, loose and disconnected, almost like it was a separate piece that could fall off at any moment. After much trial and error, I learned that the key is to attach stitches from the last row of single crochet on the head and neck piece, round 12 in this case, to the sides of the base wrap, not the center. That gives it a more secure and natural fit. Let me explain. Insert the needle through a stitch from round 12, then into a stitch along the edge of the base wrap to join them together. Continue going through all the stitches one by one. Tighten your stitches so the seam is invisible, making the head and the base appear as one solid unified piece. Go all the way around, making sure each stitch is firmly attached to the base. Once you've finished sewing around, bring both yarn ends to the same point, tie them in a knot, and tuck the ends inside the head to secure them. Feel free to weave in your base wrap ends as well. I like to weave them in and then hide them in the headpiece. Now with the headpiece attached and the ends weaved in, the next step is to attach the tail. Use the same sewing technique for the tail as we did for the head. That is, stitch the final round of single crochet, round 8 in this case, to the edge of the base. Be sure to secure every stitch of round 8 to the edge of the wrap. After stitching all around the tail, bring both yarn ends to the same point, tie a secure knot and weave the ends into the tail to hide them. The final step is to attach all the spikes. One of the spikes will go on the tail, another in the space between the head and the tail, third on the neck, and the last one on the head. Let's attach the first spike in the space between the head and the tail pieces. Insert the needle through the center of the wrap, then thread it through all the stitches of the spike to hold it securely in place. Go back and forth with the needle a few times until the spike is securely attached and doesn't wobble. Once you're finished, weave in the ends to keep them hidden. Then next spike will be attached to the left of the tail. Follow the same process as before. Insert the needle through the center of the wrap, pass it through the base of the spike, and continue sewing back and forth until the spike is firmly attached. Finish off by tying a knot and weaving in ends to keep everything neat. The remaining 2 spikes will be attached to the back of the head and the neck piece. One will be attached after the 3rd round, the other will be attached after the 7th round. Go ahead and attach the last 2 spikes and meet me when you're done. And there it is! Our adorable little Dino Rattle is all set to bring smiles and giggles to the tiniest of babies. Thank you for watching my video. If you loved making this, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more fun videos. See you in the next one. Until then, happy crocheting!